So the big question is, how should the U.S. respond to Russia's military buildup here? Nebraska Republican Senator Deb Fischer is a member of the Armed Services Committee. She joins us now. Senator, welcome. There's big questions and concerns, in fact, over Afghanistan 2.0, that based on how the president led us through that Afghanistan withdrawal, that we could see a similar disastrous situation happen when it comes to Russia invading Ukraine. Where do your concerns lie?
Well, it's obvious to all that the United States and Russia are seeing growing tension, and it's because of Russia's action toward Ukraine. Ukraine reports that there's about 94,000 Russians on its border right now. This is a sovereign country, and you have Russians amassing on its border. That is projected to grow to about 175,000 troops that will be there, 100 battalions. They will have missile capabilities, armor, and that is obviously a concern not only to the United States, but to the world at large. I was recently in London and in Brussels and in Eastern Europe, and yes, there is definitely concern from our allies about the handling of Afghanistan by this administration. And when we're talking about a confrontation between Russia and the United States, obviously tensions are very, very high.
You heard John Kirby at the Pentagon today. We carried it live on our air here. He said that conflict is not inevitable, that they believe that they can lead through this with diplomacy. Do you believe that to be the case, as the Wall Street Journal editorial board this morning writes about the rogues on the march around the world, and so many of our allies, in fact, questioning President Biden's own judgment after Afghanistan, saying that this is going to be an ultimate test of Joe Biden's leadership, and how he responds will be telling to the world. Do you believe he's up to the task?
I would hope so, and I would hope that the president will have a very blunt and very focused conversation with Putin tomorrow. I understand he will have a call with him. The Senate Armed Services Committee will be having a briefing with the administration tomorrow as well on this issue. But I think we all need to be aware that Putin respects strength, and so I want the president to come out and be very, very show resolve in his conversations with Putin, and to let him know that the United States is not going to sit back. There are many options that are available to us, and we need to be able to take those options, whether it's providing Ukraine with anti-air, anti-tank capabilities with radar to follow missiles, or whether it is looking at stationing more U.S. troops within NATO countries around Ukraine, or if it is action by NATO itself. This is serious, and the president should know how serious it is. The Russians recently did a test, I guess you could say it was, in taking out a satellite in space. Obviously, it was very irresponsible what they had done because of the debris that is left in space and the future that's going to hold, having all that debris in space. So it's obvious, I think, to many people, Republicans, Democrats, to the public at large, that the Russians are pushing the envelope when it comes to seeing just how far they can go with this administration.
Okay, Senator, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.